Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is Prehistoric Facts Extra episode number 91. In this episode. I am reviewing the 2005 film King Kong. So this is the second remake of this film, and so let's actually get right into it, shall we? So let's talk about the cast and crew. And so the movie was directed by Peter Jackson. We all know him for directing the Lord of the Rings franchise, mainly the first Lord of the Rings trilogy, of course the Hobbit trilogy. There's many other movies that he's actually done, but mainly the Lord of the Rings franchise. And producers are Jan Blinken, Caroline Cunningham, Fran Walsh, and of course Peter Jackson himself. The acting, so the cast is Naomi Watts, Jack Black, Adrian Brody, Thomas Kretschmann, Colin Hanks, Jamie Bell, and believe it or not, Kong is played by Andy Serkis. And so Andy Serkis did the motion capture acting for King Kong. And so that is really, really cool there. Music is by James Newton Howard. And of course, it's from Universal Pictures because Universal owns the rights to King Kong, the original King Kong. It wasn't until Legendary Pictures decided to make their own version of Kong, which is for the Monster Universe, and we all know the Monster Universe. And of course, this movie was released worldwide in December 14th, 2005. So this was pretty close to the holiday season around 2005, and this was pretty much marketed as a movie to go see during the holidays. And so this is pretty much a remake of the 1933 film, and of course it's the second remake from the 1976 film as well. And so let's actually keep going here. So let's talk about the pros here. So the pros is the cast. Cast is phenomenal. This is a big cast. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good cast. I mean, like you have Jack Black, who was pretty much right around the height of his career, being like very familiar in comedies. Um, but this was a much more serious role that he took. Naomi Watts, one of the greatest actresses in the 21st century. She is in this film, of course. Adrian Brody, who is an Oscar winning actor. I mean, of course, you have Andy Serkis in this film of being King Kong, doing the motion capture, uh, um, movement acting. Like that's pretty much what he did in this film, and like you can't go nothing wrong with Andy Serkis. I mean, he is the king of motion capture acting. I mean, I'm pretty sure this film kind of gave him the ability to play Caesar in the Planet of the Apes films. And of course, another pro in this film is the suspense. The suspense is just really, really good. I love how the suspense is kind of makes you kind of get you on the edge of your seat, and it just really does that really, really nicely. The CGI dinosaurs, I mean, even though these are made-up dinosaurs, these are fictional dinosaurs. But yeah, the CGI dinosaurs were just so well done. It did remind you a lot of Jurassic Park, because I'm pretty sure Peter Jackson, he was very well influenced by Jurassic Park, and he wanted to give the Skull Island dinosaurs like a bit more of like that Jurassic Park feel, and I did like that. Kong's design, I love Kong's design on that one. Where in this movie, especially like it shows like the battle scars and just how how look a lot like a silverback gorilla, a giant silverback gorilla. Like that's what he is mostly is a big giant gorilla. The scenery in this film is just amazing. Like just very well thought out set designs, very well thought out like green screen type of feels to it. I'm pretty sure they did film on location a couple of times, but yeah, this was a really well done in terms of scenery because Peter Jackson, when he knows to do scenery, he knows how to do scenery. Fight scenes in this movie, I mean, like I can't go nothing wrong with the Kong versus Vastosaurus Rex um, fights. Like, come on. Like, that is probably the highlight of the film, mostly because people just gravitated towards that a lot because it was like the best action scene in the movie. There's plenty of references to the 1933 film. I mean, of course, it's still a remake of the 1933 film, the original classic. And I mean, that's what you see in this film is that you do see some references from the 1933 film. And of course, the score by James Newton Howard, like very well done score. Like, I think this guy could have actually won an Oscar for his score in this movie. And because it just felt the suspense, you felt the adventure, and like, yeah, it was just really, really well done. Of course, Naomi Watts' acting, her acting was very, very phenomenal in this movie. And yeah, this movie is just so good in terms of acting. Like, Peter Jackson knows how to get really good acting. Now, there has been some clunky acting in this movie, but I won't go into that much. But like, there's a lot of pros in this movie. Some of the like some things I would say is hit and miss. The corny humor, I just felt like it was very hit and miss. Like, there was some bits I could chuckle at, and there was some things I just didn't find very funny. And like, yeah, it was just like one of those like movies where you just kind of go like, I don't know about the humor. Yeah, you want some humor to actually like kind of settle down some of the suspense and all that, give the audience a break and all that. And I thought the climax of the movie, so that's pretty much the ending of the movie, Act Three or the third act. I thought it was a little bit clunky, especially like some bits of some of the CGI was just kind of a little bit off a bit. I think Peter Jackson put a lot of focus onto like the Skull Island CGI a lot more than like say like the third act of the movie. Um, but even though like Kong was still really well designed, but it's just that I just felt like that some bits of the CGI were just not very well polished in this movie, especially at the third act. But at least you can actually get the idea of like that it's still trying to do what the 1933 film did, and that's what it was meant to be. And the only con in this film is the runtime. 192 minutes. This is a over 3 hour long movie. And I mean, let's face it, Peter Jackson loves to make really long movies. That's his MO. He loves to make really long movies. Like, I mean, if you listen to some interviews that he's done, like through magazines and even like uh, websites and some news outlets, is that his intention is to make a movie that is going to be, his intention is to film a movie that is oh, probably going to be 6 hours long, but he knows that he can't make a 6 hour long movie. He has to cut it down so that way the audiences can actually like digest the movie. Because one of the reasons I think this film did not do as good compared to the 1933 film was that the 1933 film was only an hour and a half long. It was only an hour and a half long, whereas this movie is over 3 hours, so it increased the runtime by an hour and a half. So this is pretty much the case of that. Like, Peter Jackson wanted to build more story into this film, and I don't mind that. It's just that I think like with a film like that, I think like film like this, I think Peter Jackson wanted to have a full story because I'm pretty sure that he watched the 1933 classic and of course the 1976 remake, and he was just like, could we actually get more story involved here? Because I want to make I want to make a fuller story instead of just like do like a copy and paste, which I get. You know, Peter Jackson likes to make long movies. I mean, Lord of the Rings trilogy, like you can make the case that those movies were meant to be like a whole runtime would probably be over 12 hours, because like it's those are movies that you can definitely get an idea of like he wanted to make a 12-hour long movie, but of course like you have to cut it down to a trilogy. We all know that, cut it down to a trilogy, and most of those movies are like between 2 hours and between 2 hours and 3 hours, because that's what he likes to do. But this movie, you can kind of give it a pass. And of course, a 3 hour long movie, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for everybody. Um, like we've all watched movies that are like over 3 hours long. Like, I mean, Avengers Endgame was over 3 hours long, and people enjoyed it because that was a big, big event type of movie. This was not really a big event movie. This was basic. This was pretty much like a movie that you have to be a Peter Jackson fan, or otherwise, um, are you actually a fan of long storytelling? That's what you want if you're going to be interested in this film. It's not for everybody. I can handle this movie, um, but yeah, this was the only con of this movie is this it was the runtime. Overall, lots of storytelling, a lot more lore in this movie. I thought it was like very well done. Skull Island Creatures was very fleshed out. I did like that. I think like the 1933 film and the 1976 remake, Skull Island was not fleshed out as much. It was just basically built up as like, oh, this is a mysterious island. We don't know what's there, but we got and they get there and like there's the island and here's like here's a few creatures here and there, and they capture Kong, bring it back to New York City, and Kong causes havoc in New York City, that sort of thing. But in this movie, Skull Island was really well fleshed out. I think Peter Jackson wanted to give this movie to have more time on Skull Island, and I think he did a really, really good job on that. Some of the characters didn't get enough screen time or enough development or something like pretty much that. I thought Adrian Brody's character was not very well fleshed out. I think that was done on purpose because like he's not really the star of the movie. He's just basically a side character and a love interest. But remember, this movie is not just an action movie. It's also a romance movie because if you actually look at it, like it's kind of very similar to the Beauty and the Beast, type of story, and you can get this in this movie is that like the protector is real even though the protector is a beast, a animal, and you also have the female protagonist as someone who actually looked at the beast as like, oh, he's only protecting me, I get it. And then she's like feel a connection with the creature. That's what it really is. And yeah, and also the score is great. James Newton Howard did a great job at the score. Naomi Watts, I can't go nothing wrong with Naomi Watts. She is an amazing actress. And then of course Andy Serkis's great motion capture acting. Like he does a fantastic job. I don't think there's anybody that can doubt that. He did a fantastic job uh, doing the motion capture acting of King Kong. Did a great job. Peter Jackson's vision was really well done. And I think if you're a Peter Jackson fan, you actually can appreciate this movie. And even though some would say it's not his best movie, but at least you can definitely tell that like it's like mid tier in terms of movies and Peter Jackson's filmography. But this movie did age better than the 1976 remake, but not as much of a classic compared to the 1933 film. I mean, I personally prefer the 1933 film because it's a classic, and also it's like got that like importance in film history. It's a very important film, uh, and I think Peter Jackson did a nice job. I would probably say that like this is the second best King Kong movie uh, of compared to the 1933 film. The 1933 film is going to be the better one, but the overall grade I give this one is an 8.1 out of 10. I thought this was actually not too bad. It has aged better over time. So if you're a Peter Jackson fan, you can appreciate this. If you're a film lover that actually wants to like see like a film that was made like back in like the 30s or 40s to be done on current in like the current landscape, this is the movie for you. And I definitely say you can definitely watch this. Like, if you can find it on a streaming platform, if you have it on physical copy, go watch it because it is still not too bad of a watch. Um, and just to remind you, the runtime is long, so you're definitely going to have to possibly watch this film more than once in order to get everything. And so, yeah, this is a really, really good film to me. That's our, and so next episode will be on January 6th, 2025. So this is the final episode of 2024, and so January 9th, 2025 will be the next episode, and there'll be a Q&A episode. And so so all of you guys are gonna see that I'm not gonna be posting too much during the holiday season, but there will still be polls out on the community tab. So please go to the community tab on my YouTube channel and take a look at the polls, and you can actually vote on those polls. Feel free to do so. But January 9th, 2025, uh, is a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinocrest71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dinocrest. Like the page, you actually put your questions in the comment section. Please put your questions in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messenger is a private conversation, so please put your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post. And also for YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and according to my analytics, a lot of you guys are checking out my channel. I'm not subscribed yet, so please feel free to hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button, because how the YouTube algorithm works is the more likes the video gets, the more likely the video gets spread out to people that are interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also share the video, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also hit that notification bell so that way you can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. So please hit that notification bell. And also for your YouTubers out there, leave your questions in the comment section because I do read them all. All of your questions, all of you guys that are sending me questions via email, Facebook, and YouTube. You guys are awesome. You give me some great questions for the Q&A episodes. And also make sure you keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at Donna.Crest.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Threads, same thing, at Donna.Crest.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. I also forgot to mention in the previous slide as what did you think of the 2005 King Kong movie? Like, do you like it? Do you think it's meh? Or do you not like it? And also, what is your favorite version of Kong? What is your favorite version of King Kong? 1933, the 1960s, uh, King Kong versus Godzilla, the 1976 remake of King Kong, this version of 2005, or is it the MonsterVerse King Kong? Let me know in the comment section. And also, what's your favorite King Kong or monster movie that you like? It has to be a monster movie, like say Godzilla, you know, King Kong, you name it. Tell me in the comment section. Also, take care of people around you. And also, for younger people out there, that makes you listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have. A good education is very important to have a good education. So, with a good education, you get a good job in the future. And also, for all of you, have a happy and safe holiday season. Make sure you get to enjoy time with your family and your friends, however you spend the holidays and whatever holiday you actually celebrate. You know, make sure you guys have a great holiday season and be safe and also enjoy time with your friends and family. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys in 2025.